My name is Parrott. I'm the Vice President of Product Development at Genuitec. We're based here in Dallas, a little small startup company back in 2001. And with me is Greg Anderson. He's been with us for quite a while. We're heading up the mobile initiative project at Genuitec. Our background as a company, kind of why I'm standing here talking to you tonight, is really goes back to our company has historically been in the Java enterprise tool development space and technology space. And about 2 years ago, when the iPhone came out, we started getting a lot of requests of companies, enterprise companies that were going, "This is pretty cool. What do we do with this?" And so we've had this ongoing conversation with our customer base for quite a while. A year ago, when the 3G came out, it was like a game changer in terms of the amount of interest around smartphones. iPhone, principally, got a lot of attention, and we started getting a lot more requests. And it was from enterprise companies saying, "I'm just really confused. Do I have to get a Mac and a bunch of Mac developers?" And so we've had this ongoing conversation for the last year. Let's see. That's pretty much what I'm going to say there. But again, so we're coming at it from an enterprise development perspective, where mobile has, especially on the iPhone side of things, has been very consumer-oriented, personal apps. But companies have been asking us, like, "Hey, we've got these really cool little ideas, but we don't want to spend a gazillion dollars just getting in," especially in the economy that we're in. So there's a lot of risk aversion, but yet at the same time, companies are willing to invest in mobile, but they want something out of it. They want to kind of manage the risk. To kick off, I'm going to start off by talking about the App Store. But before you do that, you really have to focus on what really made a store even interesting. And that's having a compelling device to run really cool applications on it that users want to work with. Going way back, well, let's just see real quick. Just looking at I've got just some of the new smartphones, the new generation. More of them are in the pipeline. Not a comprehensive list, but from the iPhone, I just picked up a 3GS. Just real quick, how many in here are on an iPhone? How many in here on a Pre? None. How about RIM, BlackBerry? Just a couple. So the iPhone is really dominating. Yeah, what about Android? And Android, yes. Windows Mobile? Yeah, all the other phones. Whoa, just 30 minutes. It's really very interesting, the conversations that we have with so many companies, because the iPhone is just such a central, it's just part of the conversation. It's just natural. When you start talking about, mobile and smartphones, everybody just kind of gravitates to the iPhone, and then everything else is kind of an exception in the conversation. Right now, it's not going to stay that way forever, but it's still, Apple's doing a great job at being very competitive and making it really hard for pretty much anybody else to catch up to them. We've been doing some work on, just real quick, this is Greg's Pre that we've been working on. Anybody ever played with one of these? Anybody interested?
What is it, a Pre?
Yeah, it's a Pre.
I'll play it.
Yeah. Oh, don't rootkit it. Just pass it around if you want to look at it, just kind of see what it's a nice new device. We've been experimenting, doing some work with that. But anyway, you see some of the other devices. Got the G1 from Google, BlackBerry Storm, Nokia's N95, but so the real things that stand out about smartphones when you talk to people is, I heard somebody describe it as, they were talking about a smartphone to them is the personal computer in their pocket, and with the telephone capability to it. The other is talking about sensors and the future of applications, kind of looking forward to. Sensors give you this new personal context where in the past, when you had a laptop you carried around, it was kind of interesting, but it just kind of sat there. You might put a webcam on it, but when you carry a phone around, it actually knows if you're running or if you throw it, or you shouldn't throw it. But if you have kids like mine, you can throw them sometimes. But anyway, they're very cool kind of next generation devices. There's a lot of innovation that's able to happen around that. Also, kind of our vocabulary has moved from widgets in the old mobile 1.0 day to applications. A lot of that is part to the App Store. And finally, the other thing is and finally, is just how we use our devices and how we come from they used to be phones to now they're kind of like little mini laptop replacements. They're standing. And the headline on the left there really talks about just, in this case, it's just talking about iPhone and the number of Google searches, but they're comparing it to all the other devices. What it tells you, though, is people are using that device to actually find something that's interesting to them. There's some other stats that just talk about the growth of the mobile web and how how the iPhone is just changing the behavior. Where you're always connected. You just pull out your device, pull out your phone, you can connect up, search. I think we now, I saw the other day, Google now is going to be promoting locality-based search. So just be built in when you're searching on your iPhone. You can enable your geolocation capabilities on it, and also give you back location relevant events. The other thing is, what's really cool is the billionth download. I watched that for a little while and thought I might try to see if I could win something on one of the kind of game one of the giveaway companies on the web that's trying to build some marketing reputation around the billionth download. If you could guess when it would be, that kind of thing. But that is really compelling if you think about it. Just a couple of years, we're up to a billion downloads. I think that equates to something like 30-something apps per user out there. So it's very interesting. On this slide here, I was just going to talk a little bit about kind of the game changer. There are a lot of stores, app stores out there, but the iTunes App Store is really the one that is the symbol store. And the key thing around it is what really has been I was actually trying to describe to my dad a while back, who he just got a phone and learned how to text. And he texts me all the time now, and he just thinks it's the coolest thing ever. But so I was telling him, well, you got to check out some of the apps out there. He's got some old dumb phone that from a couple years ago, but he just thinks it's the coolest thing. So now he's learning about this. He's 80 years old, and he's like, hey kid, hook me up to this app store thing so I can go find cool stuff to do, which is really amazing. I mean, so it's kind of everybody can learn. Everybody wants to experience the device. But the App Store, what's cool about that is think of this virtual marketplace where developers and users can come together to sell and buy applications. It basically creates an ecosystem. You can have the coolest device in the world, but if people don't have applications, can't find them, you can pretty much become invisible. We've talked to some of the other App Store companies, one of them in particular, and they are like, man, they came out with this big fanfare. We're doing this really cool App Store thing. And developers aren't showing up. They're just, they're going to struggle, because they're having